Hello viewers, my name is Metrine and today we're going to discuss about gender makes business sense. Gender makes business sense. And I will define a few things, a few terminologies before we go into the topic. When we talk about business, we are talking about an activity that will enable you to get some income. And today, as we discuss about business and gender, I'll focus more on agricultural business. When we talk about agricultural business, we mean a business that is related to farming activities. That is, you can either sell farm inputs, for example, fertilizer. You can sell farm produce direct from the farm like maize, beans, sweet potato, cassava, Irish potato. You can sell coffee, you can sell sugarcane. That is still a business because what you're doing is you're trying to get some income from whatever you're doing. You can even sell what has been processed already. You can add value to the produce that you are able to produce from your farm and still sell. All these are businesses related to agriculture. Why agriculture? It's because in Kenya, agriculture is one of the main economical sectors, which will contribute at least 60% to this country achieving the Vision 2030, which is a 2-digit economic growth. So agriculture is very important. And we are talking gender because if you empower a woman, you empower a nation. We are talking gender because there is no developed country out there that succeeded without empowering its women. So gender in agriculture is very, very important. Therefore, in line with this, if you are doing any agricultural development and you have not given it a thought to have deliberate intentions to include, to empower women, to make sure that women are in positions where they can make decisions, major decisions, to make sure that women are some of the main beneficiaries in your project, then my friend, you have not started changing the economy of this country. Therefore, any project that you carry out related to agriculture, it related to businesses, entrepreneurship in agriculture level, in agriculture related activities, it is key to empower women. And what is gender? I want to talk about what gender is. Gender is socially constructed roles for women and men. Socially constructed. What it means is that it is something that can be done by the community, what is acceptable in the community as being a role of a woman. That is what gender is. Being a role of a man, that is what gender is. Being a role of a boy and a girl, that's what gender is. Socially constructed roles. So it means that it is something that is dynamic. We can change it. How we socially construct what we expect any woman, any girl, any boy, or any man to do. We can change it. And it also is affected by our beliefs, our attitudes, our morals, how we are brought up. And so when we're talking about agriculture, we look at our women, how they participate. And we look at Kenya also as a country. You find that in agriculture, 80% of the work is actually done by women. So if we change this landscape in line with gender, we can improve how we perform in this economy. We can improve a lot because also agriculture contributes 60%, up to about 60% to the GDP of Kenya, mainly being done by small-scale farmers. And you realize that our country has got only about 25% of the country, which is high potential. So we must look at these areas where we are having a lot of agricultural activities. What is happening there? Gender equality means giving equally, considering men and women equally in terms of benefits, in terms of anything that you do, roles. It means that you are trying to balance. There are times when you have to balance, but also there are times when you have to look at gender equity. And gender equity is, I want to explain it by using an elaboration or an example. Imagine that you're watching a football match, and as you stand at the side of the football match, probably you have something that is preventing you from seeing a whole crowd. And as you have something that is preventing you from seeing, probably it's at a certain height, whereby if you are short, you have to try to raise your head up so that you can see inside in the football match, where the football match is taking place. Now look at the people who are out there struggling to raise their eyes so that they can see. Some could be short, some could be taller. You find that the tall person will easily see it without having to really put up maybe one step to step on it to be able to see. But for a very short person, you may need to bring even a block or a brick just to stand on top, or even a stool, so that they can also still achieve. But the level, the point that they all need to achieve to be able to see is still the same. So when we are dealing with gender equity, we are looking at the different levels, the different heights, the different capabilities of the people involved. How far are they from the target? Probably some are already a bit better than others. So they only need to be pushed a bit further or boosted or assisted or empowered more. And some could be very far down there. So when you're dealing with gender equity, you try to look at different groups, different communities, different gender groups, looking at their needs. You try to consider their needs, where they are, how much further they need to be assisted to move to get to achieve what they need to achieve. Gender stereotypes is whereby you find that the beliefs of the people, our beliefs, can easily prevent you from allowing certain levels of participation of different groups. Stereotypes are beliefs that are not necessarily true about how you distribute roles to men and women. For example, some communities may believe that a woman cannot plant a tree. For no apparent reason, they believe it's wrong for a woman to plant a tree. So when you come up with a project whereby you want to have women planting trees, or all people planting trees, and you go to such a community, you'll find that they will keep on telling you, no, you see, in our community, women don't plant trees. But if you investigate deeply, you will realize that this is just a belief. That is what is a stereotype. Therefore, these are things that really affect us when we are trying to help communities to change the perspectives. But what I know for sure is for you to have any development activity that is meant to help the communities to change, to improve, you must empower the community alongside the gender perspective. And mostly in developing countries, especially Kenya, this is all about women. It is more about women because they are the ones who have not been participating very much in a lot of decision-making levels. And you find that if they are involved, we move more because they seem to be more active in all the sectors where we need to touch to change the story of our country. So friends, let us start thinking alongside this idea of gender if we want to change our country, if we want to develop this nation, we must think gender. Thank you for today. We shall have another talk on another day. Goodbye.